And welcome back to This Week. I'm pleased to be joined by Buck Dozier, candidate for mayor here in Nashville. We appreciate very much your time this afternoon.
Glad to be here. Thank you.
You've been involved with Metro government since the 80s as a council member, as fire chief, so you've seen this community grow and understand how lucky this community is to continue to prosper and grow. How does the new mayor stay out of the way, as it were, and continue this process?
Well, I think the mayor can use his bully pulpit to be a cheerleader. There's so many positive things going on in this community, not only downtown, but in our neighborhoods.
There are good things, there are great things coming here. We continue to grow new businesses. What do you see, though, as maybe the negative, the one big issue that you need to address that needs to be fixed?
One of the things, Bob, I think that I hear a lot of is it's hard to do business in Metro. And I would like to make sure that the way we do business, on the first day that I'm in office, I'm going to issue an executive order that we place our business people who come to us and who are looking to do something, even our community leaders as well, that we put them on a fast track, that when they come to us with all their information, in 72 hours we're going to get back to them with an answer. It's hard to do business with Metro, needs to cease, in my judgment. You've
been on the council a while, a couple of different times. You've dealt with mayors. How important is it, while they have to be separate branches of government, to have a working relationship with the council as a mayor?
Well, it's extremely important, and I think that's one of the things that makes my candidacy important, that I have been there 3 times in the legislative branch, also worked in the executive branch with Mayor Bredesen for almost 2 years. And so I've seen it from all sides. And I believe that gives me an advantage in terms of being able to work with people. Building relationships is what I'm all about. That's all I've ever done in my life, so I want to continue that.
You know that education is an issue here in Davidson County. Progress has been made, but still it's probably not where we want it to be. Still there are people who, when they move here, recommend people move other places because of the education system here. How do you fix that? What's your priority to get that improved?
And that is the other challenge that you mentioned in the first question a few minutes ago. I have put forth a very comprehensive educational plan. And there's a number of things in it, dealing with best practices throughout the country, looking for those having choice, looking for right-sizing our schools. I think our comprehensive high schools are too large and uncontrollable to a large extent. I've also pushed in terms of conflict resolution, helping our children being able to deal with each other in a much better way than they are now. The most challenging part that I've issued for this community is an endowment, raising $1 billion in the next 10 years. And we can do that, and using that endowment, taking the interest off that endowment, and we're estimating perhaps $75 million a year that can be used for those things, not for brick and mortar, but for those things that we never seem to have enough of in our school system: counselors, PE teachers, band equipment, and so forth. I believe that sends a strong statement, not only to those who want to move to this community as individuals, as families, but also corporately, as they look in and say Nashville has really dedicated itself to their children, to the future generations, through this endowment. And I believe we can do it.
Crime, always an issue for any community. We seem to be having an increase in gang crime. Second Avenue, been a couple of instances. These kinds of things continue downtown. The folks that are going to try to move down there or bring businesses down there may get spooked. How do you address the gang issue and the crime issue specifically?
Well, we certainly have to put more resources in the police department on that. Also, you know, I don't know where you know, there's a study being done by the CDC and the Harry Vanderbilt, who are studying the issue of young people and why they get into these kinds of situations. I certainly support that. I'm anxious to see the results of that. In the meantime, we need to make sure that the resources in the police department are moving in that direction.
Again, the leadership there. Police Chief Ronald Serpa has been there about 5 years. Are you pleased with his progress?
Again, there are things that I'm pleased with. There's some things that I'm concerned about. The morale in the police department is extremely low, and I have great interest in finding out exactly why. I think I know why, and we'll be dealing with it.
One of the big issues the next mayor is going to deal with, the proposal for a new convention center downtown. The Chamber of Commerce wants to build it in Sobro. There are many specifics out there. People think that this is a good idea. Do you believe we are losing out in convention business because our convention center is too small? Do we need a new convention center?
Well, we need a new convention center. At the same time, I want to make sure the property taxes of our people are protected. If the funding sources that they have outlined for a convention center are in line, it looks like we could probably pay for it as we did the Owen, which is, we have paid for it at this point. This is a city that people love to come to. It's a tourist mecca, And we are missing out statistically on the large conventions that we're not able to bring here at this time.
Your old department, you were chief of fire department here in Metro for several years. Are you pleased with the way it is going? These guys work hard under some grueling circumstances. Are there enough men? Are there enough response time? Are there enough fire chief and fire offices here in Metro?
Well, the response time is fairly adequate. We got some work to do in EMS because of the ambulance response times. For sure, they're undermanned. We don't have enough firefighters to do the job we need to do. That needs to be looked at for sure. I proposed a very comprehensive safety plan called hometown security. The old idea that we just fight crime with this crime watch that we had in our neighborhoods, Bob, we need to expand that. This is not my father's city anymore, and times have changed. We need to know what to do as individuals when a tornado comes through. We need to know what to do when terrorism strikes, and FEMA's not going to be here for 72 hours, and the state's not going to be here for 48 hours. We're going to have to take care of ourselves. And if our own local first responders can't get to us quickly, I want every person in this city to know what to do for themselves and their neighbor.
Buck Dozier, candidate for mayor of Nashville. We appreciate very much your time this afternoon, sir.
Bob, thank you.
Thank you.